Oh, hiya, Trix. How do you feel? Oh, I wish you hadn't have asked me that, Trixie. What a day I had today. First of all, I went down to Krause's to get some things for Ralph's dinner. I see a bunch of bananas, I pick it up, and I say, I'll take this bunch. How much are they? Krause says 20 cents a pound. I said, 20 cents a pound for a bunch of bananas? DeVito's around the corner's got them for 16 cents a pound. So he says, why don't you get them from DeVito's? I said, because DeVito's is out of bananas. He says, well, when I'm out of bananas, I sell them for 10 cents a pound.
Krause's ain't the same since the old man died.
Yeah, and as if that wasn't all. I get home, I lug the groceries upstairs, I get right outside the door, I can't even find my key. So I park the groceries outside the door, and I go down to the landlady's and think I'll borrow her pass key, and while I'm there, I figure, well, I'll complain a little bit about how her husband doesn't come and pick up the garbage outside the door every day. So while I'm complaining, he comes in and he says, so what are you complaining about? I just now picked up the garbage outside your front door. I said, garbage? That wasn't any garbage, that was my groceries. You will never know, Trixie, how embarrassed I was running down the middle of the street after a garbage truck in front of all the neighbors, begging the garbage man to give me Ralph's dinner.
You've certainly had some beautiful day, Alice.
Yeah. Boy, I'm telling you, if Ralph's vacation didn't start next Monday, I don't know what I'd do. It's just that 2 weeks of relaxation I've got to look forward to that's getting me through these days.
I know just how you feel, Alice. Gee, I'm glad Ed got his vacation at the same time so we could all go away together.
Yeah.
By the way, Alice, has it definitely been decided now that we're going to Atlantic City?
Oh, sure, I got that all settled. Ralph and I had another argument about it again last night.
Oh.
He still wanted to go fishing, but I finally talked him into going to Atlantic City.
Good. Hey, do you know of a nice place down there for us to stay?
Oh, sure. I thought we'd stay at the same place that my sister stayed last year.
Oh?
It's called the Royal Hawaiian Motel. It's only 17 minutes from the beach by bus, and it's got very reasonable rates.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and that isn't all. This motel colony has a recreation hall, and they have dances every night.
Oh.
I bought myself a new evening gown to wear to the dances.
You didn't tell me you got a gown. Show it to me.
Oh, sure. I guess I forgot. Here it is, right here.
Oh, I bet we have a wonderful time.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Hi, Alice. Hiya, Trix.
Hi, Ralph. What you got in the bundles?
Something for our vacation. Wait till you see this. I'll be out in a minute.
Well, what do you suppose he's got in there?
Oh, never mind about that. Come on, show me this gown.
Here it is.
Oh, it's beautiful, Alice. Just beautiful.
Isn't that something? Boy, I can hardly wait, Trixie. I can see it all now. Every night after dinner, we'll get out of our wet bathing suits and get dressed for the dance. I'll put on this new evening gown. Ralph will wear his new blue suit. And then maybe after the dance, we can take a stroll down the boardwalk in the moonlight. And then if we feel like it, we can drop into some, quiet little spot and have a few buckets of steamed clams.
Oh, gee. It sounds so romantic, Alice. And Atlantic City's going to do a world of good for my Ed, too.
Yeah.
You know, Ed's job doesn't give him much of a chance to get a tan. And when he does, it's a polka-dotted one. From the sun seeping down through the holes in the manhole cover.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, speaking of Ed, I better go back upstairs and get his dinner. He'll be home any minute. Listen, I'll see you later, honey.
Okay, Trix. Hey, Ralph.
Coming out in a minute.
Okay. What's keeping you so long in there?
I now declare war on the trout of America.
You mean to tell me that's what you had in the bundle?
Yeah, and I got you something, too. A pair of blue dungarees. I'll get you the sweatshirt and the sneakers that go with it tomorrow.
Wow. We can't wear this stuff in Atlantic City.
Certainly we can't. We're not going to Atlantic City.
We're not going. I thought we had the whole thing decided.
I changed my mind.
You changed your mind.
Yeah, and do you want to hear how I changed it? Ed and I are going to work this morning on the bus, see?
Yeah?
Well, we bump into a guy and we start talking to him. And we find out that he owns a fishing lodge. Well, after we tell him we're going on a 2-week vacation, he takes out some pictures of the place and he shows it to us. Believe it's perfect. Just perfect, sweetheart.
Listen, Ralph, where is this place?
It's called Fred's Landing.
Yeah?
It's a vacationer's paradise. Set in the foothills of Wanchung Mountains, overlooking Lake Pocamoonshine. It's a real wilderness, and we can share all the fun. I'll get up at the crack of dawn, go down to the lake, fish all morning, bring the fish back. You can clean it in the afternoon.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's
I'd
the
like
matter?
To tell you something, and if you're quite through posing for the cover of Field and Stream, I'll tell you what's the matter.
All right, what's the matter, my little speckled trout?
Not a thing, my little sand crab, except we're not going to Fred's Landing. We're going to Atlantic City.
We are, huh?
Yeah.
That's your version of it. We are going to Fred's Landing.
Now listen here, Ralph. Atlantic City's the place to go. Millions of people go there.
Oh, millions of people go to Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Well, millions of people go to Fred's Landing.
Millions, huh? Name one. Name one.
All right, I'll name one. Fred.
Now listen, Ralph, and get it straight. I'm not going to any dump like Fred's Landing.
Dump? 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 This is no dump. This is a very romantic place. As a matter of fact, it has a very romantic legend about it. Many, many years ago, there were two Indian tribes living on opposite sides of Lake Moonshine. Now, they wanted to join the tribes, so they thought the best way to do it was have the Indian brave from one tribe marry the Indian princess from the other tribe. Well, the two chiefs arranged for the both of them to meet. Now, as soon as the Indian brave sees the Indian princess, they take an immediate dislike to each other, and they don't want to get married. So the two Indian chiefs get mad, and they kill both the Indian brave and the Indian princess.
Now, what's so romantic about that?
What's so romantic about that? They buried both the Indian princess and the Indian brave in the same grave with their arms around each other.
Now, that settles it, Ralph. I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to get it straight once and for all. I have no intention and no thought of spending my vacation in a lost wilderness. It may be your idea of sharing fun for you to catch fish and for me to clean them, but it's not mine. And I certainly do not intend to spend the only 2 weeks that I have to relax slopping around in some mud hole. I have to work hard enough all year round in this wilderness. Every single day I have to hang over a sink and do a wash that would choke a horse. And when I get it done, I have to lug it down in the yard and hang it out on the line to dry. And if it should be raining, I have to hang wet clothes up here in the kitchen and walk around all day with an umbrella over my head. Now, as if that wasn't enough, I have to argue with the landlord, haggle with the butcher, complain to the grocer. And then, to make the whole sunshiny day perfect, you come home and you yell, I'm hungry, where's the eats? And to top it all off, Ralph, you've got the colossal gall to tell me that I'm going to spend my vacation cleaning fish next to two dead Indians with their arms around each other.
Are you finished? Are you finished? Are you done, through, and completed? Well, let me tell you something. What do you think my life is, a block party or something? What do you think driving a bus all day is, a hayride? Getting up every morning while it's still dark outside, drinking leftover coffee because you can stay in bed, making my own eggs? Do you realize I haven't had an egg without the yolk broken in over 2 years? What do you think it is, a racket driving a bus up and down Fifth Avenue every day? Every day, up and down, up and down, up and down. On the way down at Central Park, fun would tell it Saks Fifth Avenue, the Public Library, the Empire State Building, and Washington Square. On the way up, it's Washington Square, the Empire State Building, the Public Library, Saks Fifth Avenue, fun would tell us at Central Park. Day after day this goes on. Week after week, month after month, year after year. And if that isn't enough, I come home expecting a decent meal, and some neighbor tells me she just saw my wife running down the street begging a garbage man for my dinner.
Shut up.
Well, I see you're all dressed up in your outfit for Fred's Landing.
What outfit for Fred's Landing? I just got through working in the sewer.
Well, don't worry about it, pal. What a time we're going to have at Fred's Landing. Every morning we'll get up at 6 o'clock, cook our own breakfast, slip into these, and wade out into the water.
Wait a minute. This is supposed to be a vacation. I go wading every day.
Don't worry. This will be a vacation. You like to fish, don't you?
Yeah, I love to fish. Did a lot of fish when I was a kid. Didn't have much luck, though. Once I read in a book, though, that you have a lot of luck when you go fishing at night, see? So I sneak out of the house, bring my fishing pole with me, and walk until I come to a bridge. Threw my line over the bridge. Stayed there for 3 hours, didn't catch a thing. I kept this up for a couple of weeks. Nothing. Then one night I go there, and I decide I'm going to stay there all night until the morning comes and catch a fish. I know the reason why. When the morning come, I realized why I was having some bad luck.
Why?
The bridge was over a railroad track.
You were a mental case. Well, don't worry about your luck at Fred's Landing. We'll catch plenty of fish.
Wait a minute, Ed. You told Trixie about this change in your vacation plans? I happen to know she's got her heart set on going to Atlantic City.
Don't worry about a thing, Trixie. You'll go where I go.
Attaboy, pal. Put your foot down.
Yeah? Supposing she puts up a squawk.
Look, I know exactly what I'm going to say to her. I'll just tell her Atlantic City is closed for the summer.
Look, pal, what? Maybe you better go upstairs now and tell Trixie we're going to Fred's Landing instead of Atlantic City.
Okay, Ralph, I'll do that.
Thanks, pal. You do look good in those pants.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that settles it. We are now going to Fred's Landing.
Now listen here, Ralph. If you insist that I go to Fred's Landing, those two dead Indians are going to have company. I am not going to Fred's Landing. I am not going to Fred's Landing.
Don't go.
I wouldn't give you the satisfaction.
One of these days. One of these days. Pow! Right in the kiss. Are you sure you're pushing on your side?
Of course I'm pushing on my side. It's going as fast as your side, isn't it?
Listen, Ralph, will you stop this? You can't push the car all the way to Fred's Landing.
I don't intend to push it all the way to Fred's Landing. I just intend to push it to a garage so we can get a mechanic to tell us what's wrong with it.
I know what's wrong. You never should have borrowed this wreck from Nolan in the first place.
Will you lay off me? There can't be anything big wrong with the thing. Nolan told me before he lent it to me he had it tuned up for us.
Yeah, well, he may have had the motor tuned up, but that radiator sure isn't playing our song.
Maybe the radiator needs some water.
Well, thank you very much. That certainly was clever of you. Which one of the Pep Boys are you, Manny, Mo, or Jack? If I had any water, I'd put it in.
Gee, Ralph, I only
Well,
thought
don't think. Shut up.
Wait a minute. You can't talk to Trixie like that. She happens to be my wife. Now stop thinking and shut up!
Now, listen, Ralph. You had no right to talk to Trixie like that. This whole thing never would have happened if we'd gone to Atlantic City.
Will you stop saying Atlantic City? I just broke my back pushing this thing for a half hour. And all you've said since early this morning is Atlantic City, Atlantic City, Atlantic City. No, I don't ever want to hear Atlantic City again.
Atlantic City, Atlantic City, Atlantic City!
Oh, and I'd like to belt you just once. I'll fix you for that. I'll fix you for that.
Sure.
When we do get to Fred's Landing, I won't even introduce you to Fred.
Oh, from this blow, I may never recover.
All right, kiddo. Okay.
And just a minute, Ralph. Don't be so cute about all this. What makes you think we're not already at Fred's Landing? This dump looks bad enough.
You know, I just hope one thing. I hope one thing. That you fall in love when we get to Fred's Landing. That you love the place. Just so when I get my vacation next year, I can fix you and not take it out.
Ed, I'm getting worried. I think we're lost. There hasn't been another car on this road for 3 hours.
Trixie's right. I certainly hope we're on the right road. This would be a terrible place to get lost.
Just don't worry about a thing with you. I know exactly where I am. I don't even need a map. The sun's over there. That's the west. So that must be the east. There's the north and there's the south.
All right, where are we?
Right in the middle.
You're ready for Bellevue, pal.
Give me the map.
Here it is, Ed.
You have to have proof. Give me the map. There we are. New York City. That's where we started from. Then we took the Lincoln Tunnel. This black dot here, that's Jersey City. This black dot over here, that's Bayonne.
If that black dot is Bayonne, it's moving. You idiot, that's an ant.
Well, let's follow the ant. It looks like it's going in the right direction.
Don't give it too much of a head start, because this car will never catch it. Now, listen, Ralph. Our only hope is to get this car started and get to a gasoline station.
I think she's right.
All right, let's try to start it again. Get in. Well, I get a hold of that note.
Ralph.
What?
It might help if you turned on the ignition key.
I was just about to do that. I wanted to find out if the battery was alive first. It's no use.
That's the matter. Just let's get out of the car, take another look at the motor, maybe we can fix it. Come on.
Wait till I get my hands on Nolan.
Lift up. Oh, I'm telling you, they don't make cars like these nowadays.
Mind getting in the front seat and starting the car in case I want you to?
Hey, Ralph, there's a couple of loose wires there underneath the dashboard here. Yeah, the horn was making so much noise I couldn't hear you.
Will you please shut up and just sit there? Hey, here's two loose wires.
All right, put it together. I'll turn on the ignition. Maybe it'll start.
All right. Okay. All right, get out of the car. Get out of the car and put 'em up. Just put 'em up.
Now, wait a minute. Norton was only trying to help.
Trying to help. Trying to help, huh? First you almost blow off my ear, then you try to electrocute me. Why don't you help me some more? Run over me with the car. I can't get the car started. Well, without a doubt.
Hey, look, there's a man coming down the road.
Hey, maybe he can help us.
Maybe you can tell us where we can get some water for the radiator. Oh. Am I glad to see you, pal?
Howdy, Bub.
Hey,
Well, you folks must be strangers round here. I ain't never seen you down at the Grange Hall.
Range Hall. We're vacationers. We're looking for Fred's Landing. By the way, do you know if there's a river or a brook or a lake around here?
Why, there's a creek about half a mile down the road here.
We're in luck. I'll get the can. Where's the can?
It's in here somewhere.
Here it is. Put that stuff back in. Thanks a lot, pal.
Where you going with that can?
I'm going down to the creek and get some water.
Wouldn't do you much good. Creek dried up 3 years ago.
Why didn't you tell me that the creek dried up 3 years ago?
You wasn't here then.
Look, Mac, can you tell us where a garage is so we can get a mechanic to tell us what's wrong with this car?
The name ain't Mac, but maybe I can fix your car. I'm always working around on my tractor. This appears to be about the same thing. Oh, yeah, here's your trouble right here. Your spark plugs ain't connected with your distributor. That ought to do it.
Oh, thanks, mister.
Gee, thanks, pal. Sorry for the way I yelled at you. Hey, listen, maybe you could do us another favor. Do you know the way to get to Fred's Landing from here?
I don't know, no.
Well, do you know where Route 23 is?
No.
You know any crossroads that go across the turnpike?
I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't know very much, do you, huh?
I know one thing.
What's that?
I ain't lost.
Come on. The car's fixed. Let's get going. We'll find a garage and find out how to get to Fred's Landing. And look, now that the car's fixed, let's forget about the trouble we had. Live it up a little bit. Let's sing a little song. Give me the road to Great Winding Heights. Come on, Norton.
Give me the road to White One.
Will you shut up?
Oh, boy, Trixie. One more day of this vacation, I'll collapse.
Oh, I know how you feel, Alice. I'm dead myself.
Some vacation. All I've done for the past 2 days. Wash dishes, scrub clothes, clean fish, lug wood, get water from the lake. And what have the men been doing all this time? Eating, sleeping, fishing. No wonder they call us the weaker sex. All this work is wearing us out.
Boy, you said it. I can't stand this much longer. If we don't get out of here soon, there's going to be another legend about this place. 2 dead housewives buried with their arms around a load of wood.
I don't know how we're going to manage it. You know how stubborn Ralph is. If I suggested it, he'd never leave. He won't leave here until he's good and ready.
Yeah, my Ed's the same way. Boy, they'd get out of here pretty quick if they were as miserable as we are.
Yeah, but they're not. Ralph's already talking to Fred about next year.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. Suppose something happened that they were as miserable as we are.
Huh?
Listen, Trixie, I got an idea. All you and I have to...
Here we are! All right, pal. Lower your end. I got it.
Well, look who's here. Nelson Eddy and Jeanette McDonald.
Well, girls, your fishermen are home.
Should have been with us today, Trix.
Why? Did you need some wood?
Alice, I had a thrill that comes to a man probably only once in a sportsman's lifetime. We get out in the middle of Lake Moonshine, see? I throw the lines out over the boat, and we sit back. We're sitting there for about a half hour. Suddenly, I feel a tug on the line. Well, I start to reel right in. But this game fish is really a game fish. Now, he flies out of the water, flies into the water, swims down at the bottom, pulls my line with him. He's pulling at one end, I'm pulling at the other. He's pulling at one end, I'm pulling at the other. Finally, the tide changes, and I feel him weaken, and I start to reel him in.
Did you get him?
Did I get him?
The proof is in the pudding.
And there he is.
This is what you were pulling and tugging and pulling and tugging?
He lost a lot of weight in a fight.
Do you mean that in 2 days this is all you two could catch?
We caught a smaller one. We had to throw him back.
Never mind the cracks. Just cook it for our dinner. Hey, Norton, you want to take a little nap before we have dinner?
Good idea, Ralph.
Oh, by the way, wash out my fish basket. I'm dead. I want to tell you, sitting in that boat under the broiling sun really knocks you out. I sure did envy you kids sitting back here with nothing to do. Well, don't forget to wake us up when dinner's ready.
One of these days, Ralph. One of these days. Pow! Right in the kissing.
What did you say?
Nothing, Ralph. That did it, Trixie. That did it. He wants his dinner? I'll get him a dinner. Come on over here and help me with the stove. See if you can pick up some of those wet leaves over there.
Yeah.
Drop them right in here. That's it. Now, when I get through with Ralph, he'll be begging us to leave Fred's Landing. go.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was just cooking you dinner.
Well, be a little careful. I'm not on the menu. What is that? Now, can I get some sleep? Throw a little more water on it. I can still smell it.
Sure, Ralph. Be glad to. I'll put it out. Sure.
Ah! What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry, Ralph. It slipped. I'll help you get the wet shoes.
Never mind helping me off with them. You've done enough already. I'll take them off myself.
Very sorry.
You'd ruin anything.
Told you I'd help you.
Just leave me alone, that's all.
What are you going to do now?
Just stand back a little bit. Trixie, look out! There's a snake! Ah! There's a snake!
Where's the snake? Ow!
It's all right now, Ralph. I think the snake got away. You can go back and finish your nap.
What's the matter with you? Are you going insane? First time I went into the tent, I was almost smoked to death. Then I was almost drowned to death, and now you tell me there's snakes around here.
Well, what's the matter with that? That's just some of the little inconveniences you put up with when you live in the great outdoors. And isn't it worth it, Ralph? Just think. We're living just like the Indians did.
For your information, if the Indians live like this, no wonder they're the vanishing race.
Well, you chose this, Ralph. This is what you wanted for your vacation, isn't it? If you'll excuse us, Trixie and I got to go down to the lake and lug some more water back. Come on, Trix.
Norton. Norton. Norton, will you wake up? Norton! Wake up!
Where's Trixie now? Where the girl?
They went down to the lake for more water. Norton?
Ma.
This place is driving me nuts. I got a broken back from sleeping on the ground. The mosquitoes are eating me alive. And I'm getting pretty sick of canned beans and stale bread. We gotta get out of this place.
Good idea. Let's just sneak out of here before the girls get back.
You don't understand. This was my idea coming here. If I ever asked Alice to go home now, I'd never hear the end of it. We gotta make them ask us.
Yeah, but how? How?
Hey, a little while ago, they were pretty scared about a little snake.
Yeah?
If we could scare them in some big way, they'd ask us immediately to go home.
How you gonna do it?
I got an idea. Were you over to Fred's Landing, the lodge?
Yeah?
They got a big bearskin hanging over the fireplace.
Yeah?
I'll go over, get the bearskin, put it on. When the girls come back, I go like this. They'll be so scared they'll ask us in a minute to go home.
Not a bad idea. But I still think we ought to sneak out of here before the girls get back. Hey! Boy, that's wonderful, Ralph. That's terrific. Look at that. Hey! Boy, if I didn't know you was in there, it'd fool me, you know? Hey, take the head off. It'll be too hot when the girls come back. I can't hear you with the head on. Dot! What? Dot! I can hear you now. That's not me. I'm over here. That's a bat.
Oh, Ralph. Are you all right?
All right.
Ed, were you
All
scared?
right. That's it. Ed, take Trixie, go over to Fred's Landing and tell him we're leaving. With pleasure.
Thank goodness.
Ralph, you mean to say you're going to leave this vacation vacation is paradise so early?
Yeah. Yeah, we're leaving it. We're leaving it. We're leaving it. I'm sorry. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, but I guess this is about the most stupid of them all. I just thought I was supposed to spend my vacation. I didn't think that you needed one, too. You do more work than I do. You cook for me. You sew for me. You do everything for me, sweetie. You wanted to go to Atlantic City, and I had to ruin it for you. I had to come here to Fred's Landing. I'm sorry.
You can't ruin anything for me, Ralph. Besides, we have a week and a half left we can spend in Atlantic City.
Baby, you're the greatest.